Well, here's your next step in the saga. This is a universal muffler kit. It's 245s, 190, 290s, two 180s, and 4 feet straight pipe. And I don't have any exhaust in here at all. And I've pulled my headers out, and what I didn't really notice, but this is a 2 1/4 inch collector, and the pipes are 2 1/2. I don't know why I didn't get out here and measure them, but I wanted 2 1/2. You know, they're big pipes, free flowing. Yeah, I'll have a little restriction right here, but I actually can put this flange up in here to where it is 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 rather. It'll probably weld in there, and then just cut this off and weld it up close. We'll see. But now I gotta start figuring out what I'm gonna do with this, and I should pull this fender off of here so I can get to it, but I'll try to work on the other side first, and just kind of put my collectors up in there. And I've got all the bolts and stuff here in the header kit, and just start mocking it up and get this roughly laid out and start tacking it together with a welder and see what I got here, to what I'm going to have to cut and so forth. Well, I tried a 45 in here. It's not really going to work, but the 90 did work. I'm going to have to cut it off, but I can get it up onto the header pipe. It'll clear my starter, and I have to run the pipe up over the cross member. So that looks pretty good right there. Of course, I have to bend some of my lines and stuff and get them away from that hot exhaust pipe. But the muffler will fit in this area here roughly. What I'll do is cut me out a like a cardboard silhouette of the muffler, and that way I can get this exhaust pipe where it needs to be. I can run a hanger off of here. That'll be plenty good, and then I'll probably take it in the outside of the exhaust pipe, and then 6 inches over, that'll come straight back, and I can take it under that I don't know, maybe I'd take it over the rear end, but I'm gonna have to get some more pipe. So it looks like I really only needed a 90 to get good straight pipes back here. I've got a lot of this left. Obviously a 180 and a 45. I could probably use that 180, cut it right in the middle, and rotate it around and weld it. That'll give me a like an 8-inch offset or something. I'm going to have a lot of pipe left, I think. Unfortunately, there's not going to be anything really straight to put in there. I need to run it over that rear end, and I think the best bet would just be to run it straight on out. And I've got this thing here that I spent all that time making. Rear valence thing. Hang on, let me set it up. Well, if I take them over that rear end, they'll go under that brace there. They'll be above this and have a straight pipe right where I got these two marks. So that might not look too bad right there. So it looks like I'm going to need about another, well, let's say the muffler is going to go to the, about where that brace is. So I still need about 2 steps. 6 feet, I need about 12 feet of pipe. In addition to what I got. Yeah, fine, I'll just buy another piece. I'm sure I can get a 12 feet piece. Might come in 10-foot chunks, I don't know. But I've got 2 or 3 feet of this stuff. You know, I got about 8 inches there. You know, maybe a couple foot. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to try to figure out where this goes and raise it up to where I'm in a good place. I've got it blocked right now. This is about 4 and 4. That's about 8 inches off the ground. It's right about where my oil pan is. So I think that's good. I'm gonna get in there and rough cut this. Just cut the end of that 45 off there, or that 90, and kind of put it up in there. I'm gonna try to leave a little too much. I can always cut it again, and if I rough cut it, then I can get a little better angle on it. I'll whack that off and we'll see. I fooled around with this for a while. I tried to use the 90, it really wouldn't work. So the 45 brings it straight down, and then the 90 brings it straight back. So it's pretty good. I've got it higher than the pan. It's not quite straight here, but it's hitting my transmission bracket right there. I need to trim that up a little probably. And then I taped it and moved it around until all the slack was out of it, and finger tightened those clamps up there. Got where I think it's straight, and I just threw a few tacks on it. I'm going to go ahead and unbolt it now and take it out and make it a little stronger. Then I'll move on to the rest of this pipe. Well, it didn't look too bad. I got a couple almost missed tacks. I got a good one there, which is holding it. These are all right. It's pretty straight here, and I'm going to have to pound it in. So I'm just going to put some tacks on it, take my hammer and tap it in a little so I don't have to fill it so much. I got the bends pretty much straight. I took my nuts out, it just fell off, so I won't have any trouble putting it on or taking it off. Now I'll just weld it up. Well, there's my first two joints, 90 and a 45. I welded them up good. I might have a pinhole in it, I don't think so. Ground them off. I spent some, this is going to be the side you see, so I took a little bit of time on it. It looks good. This is the back of it. Never see that, so that's good enough. So now I guess I'll probably, I don't have any high temperature paint, I don't think. And a lot of that aluminum paint, you know, you put it on, it looks aluminum, and then the minute it gets hot, it just turns black. I'll see what I got around here. Need to put something on it. Well, this took a lot of work. The bolts that it came with, that's one right there. They're 11/16 or 17 millimeter. But I couldn't get the wrench on them. I couldn't, they're too close to the header there to get a wrench on between the bolt. And there's no way I could put a box in there. I was able to get up under there with a long extension and tighten them from the bottom. So what I did was I replaced these, the ones that came with it, these stock ones here. You can see how big they are. And I put 9/16 in it. Basically the bolt's a little smaller, but the head is a lot smaller. So I get a 9/16 inch wrench on there, and let's see, I'm trying to hold this and show you at the same time, but I can get a box in on that one. This one here, I can actually get to it. So that's good. My curve and everything turned out real nice. The pipes in here, straight as I could get it. It's pretty tight right now. It's hitting that aluminum line. I'll have to bend that stuff around a little, but I got it pretty much parallel to the frame. It's pointing in some, but that's all right, because I'm going to put the muffler in there anyway, and I'll put this on the side inlet, and then I'll take the middle one out the back. So I probably should be all right with that. I'm gonna make me up a paper mock-up of the muffler right now and see what that looks like. Well, that's where the muffler's gonna go approximately. It's a 13-inch body, so it ought to be pretty loud actually. I may have to put something else on it. but looks like the center outlet's going to be coming. We're just going to miss that. It actually looks pretty good. I can move it around a little, but it looks like it's going to just go straight over that axle and straight out the back. Well, that's a little simpler than I thought it was going to be. These flanges are not bolting up real tight. I'll probably have to double gasket them. And here's the off the floor. It looks like I got about 7 inches. And the pan's hanging down a little below that. So I got 7 inches clearance. That should be plenty good. It's going to be a real simple installation. Those mufflers I bought were cheap. Both of them were less than $100, so we'll see if it's too loud. I can put a glass pack right in there. You know, that's just another 4 feet of pipe that I don't have to buy. But I am going to need one more piece. I knew I was, but I was kind of hoping that these bins and stuff here in this kit would have given me a little length. They do. You know, I probably got another 2 feet, 3 feet on each side. Might get enough on there from the pieces that are left over to get about halfway back. But I'll wait till the mufflers get here. They'll be here in a couple days. I'll fix this other one up tomorrow. And I'll get this one here mounted and all my stuff out of the way so it's not touching it. And then I'll fire it up and see about this exhaust leak. I'll just go ahead and order some gaskets now because I know I'm probably going to need them. I can see there that they should be really good and tight together. Squish that gasket. No, I can't. I really can't tell. I don't have my good glasses on. Well, you know, that might not be. No, look, I can stick this nail in there. So I'm pretty sure it's going to take another gasket at least. Anyway, I'll figure that one out. Order some more gaskets and we'll press on. Well, good morning, YouTube. That other side turned out real good. And so this time I'm just going to cut them. I don't have to really worry about them. I know that I need the minimum straight distance I can here for the 45. And I'll cut the 90 right here. So it'll be cut here, and a cut here. And that gives me what I need to get under this frame and back. So the way I cut these is I use a Sawzall. Got my old trusty vise out here, and I'll just clamp this into the vise, and it'll hold it while I cut these. I'll get this 45 cut up and 90, and we'll put them together. Well, here's my second header. It's pretty much straightforward. I had a 45, but I had it kind of too far up on the cone, so I had to make a little pie-shaped patch there. But this is the outside. Don't look too bad. I welded it all up. I had to patch a couple pinholes, but basically not bad. I got some this stuff here, chrome bumper paint. I didn't say anything on here about heat, but I'll just spray a little on here. I'm going to have to take these off anyway and put new gaskets on. So if it turns black, then it'll be easy enough to clean. Well, that's in. I put the bolts that came with it, those 3/4. I got the same problem. I can't really get a wrench on them, so I'll have to change those. But I got them pretty tight as I can with fingers. I'm missing everything. I'm way away from my oil cooler. I mean my oil filter. I'm pretty close to the pan there, but it's clearing. And I've got this, you know, it's in there pretty good. I can still move it around, of course. And it's a little longer than the other one for some reason. But at least they're all in. So I'm gonna just fire it up here and see what it sounds like. I haven't started it in a few days. I'm sure it'll still start. Well, let's give it a go. See if it is going to fire. See why it shouldn't. I think I got all my wires put back where it's supposed to go. And the key. Give it a couple pumps. Cold still. Put it up on high idle on the choke. Much better. All the popping's gone. Sounds more like a motor now. My lights worked with the lights on. Of course, I only got that one headlight, but it was showing charge. It fired up pretty good, actually. I'll try it again now that it's warmed up just a little. Sounds much better. Looks like my fancy muffler here worked good. Blew it right out. So I still got my transmission line sitting on a muffler. Whoa, that got hot pretty fast. I'll have to tie up my battery cable over there, make sure that it's out of the way. So these are pointed back about towards the axle, or the traction bars. So I'm gonna have to cut both of these pipes probably right here and just be in front of the cross member, and just take a little saw cut on one side, maybe 1/8 of an inch, or maybe even just enough for a cutoff wheel, and just bend them a little bit, get them to go straight back. But they're in good. I couldn't really hear any exhaust leaks. Pretty obvious. Yeah, I got a lot of room on this one. So I'll probably put a clamp up there in front. I'm not going to weld this stuff together because it'll be no fun trying to get it apart. But it all looks real good. Looks pretty professional. I've done this before with no U-bends or anything, just straight pipes and cut it, but God, the amount of welding that goes into it to make bends, and then the grinding and the holes. This was much better. I think I paid $80 or something like that for my bends and 2 4-foot pipes. Basically, I got 2 of these left. I think what I'm gonna do, I realized that this thing here, if I ran them close to the axle right now, it's jacked up, so it's really at the limit of its travel. But I'm gonna cut these in half right in the middle, and just flip one of them around 180. So what's going to happen is going to come up like this from the bottom, and then the top one will be turned around. So that'll give me about I don't know, 6-7 inches, and that'll be the travel over that rear end there. And I'm gonna have to do something about my brake there. That's right where the exhaust pipe's gonna go through. I'll figure out something there. But anyway, the mufflers sound real good. Let's see if I can set you up back here and see what it sounds like again. Well, I don't know what it's going to sound like. It'll probably sound a little different than it did in the front. This is more of a sound check than anything. Don't know. We'll see what that sounds like. Well, kind of moving on here. I went and got a molded hose, trying to fit it in here, and it's I don't know, like 1 3/8 at one end and 1 1/4 at the other. And I went and got one that would fit. I thought it would. I put it up in there and then I cut it, and I cut it about 1 inch short. So even though it worked, I really didn't like it. One of my subscribers told me to try to get a hose off I don't know what it was, a 81 Dodge van or something like that. So I found one on eBay, and I was tired of cutting up $20 hoses. So that one looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking off this one that I ruined. And I've got the water drained out of it. Pull that off, and then we'll see if I can put this other hose on it. And this time I'll try not to cut it too short. Well, I got water in it. It's not leaking. We got it filled up, maybe 1/2 inch above the bottom of the radiator. Car and everything's good. Got the fan on. I'm gonna warm it up. See if I can get that thermostat to open. It'll be the first time it's got really warm. right here on this sending unit pickup. Just tighten up a little. Such an awkward position, I can't really put a wrench in it to tighten it. This side closes all the way. Need a better fan. Alright. That's pretty tight. I just got a bolt here on the manifold. And that's what I hooked my throttle spring to. See what kind of temperature we got. I hooked up for that. Still towards the bottom. Just need to warm it up some more. that hot. Still got some misses in it. I don't know if it's going to cool it off or not. Yeah, I got bad misses. Well, it looks like it kicked on about 190. It's still running at 180. Well, I found out the reason why it keeps running if you shut the key off and the fan's going is the fan is actually generating current back into the system. I probably need to put a diode in there to stop that. But it's been running a couple minutes. It's at 180. Let's see if I can get this light in a little better place. There we go. So running in a few seconds should bring it down with that water perk working. Set that, advance that timing a little bit where it run better, and this poor old battery just won't do much. Well, it's down about 170. Fan's still kicking on. This battery just not going to start it. Yeah, it's still running, and we're down to about 165. So I don't know what's the deal with that sending unit. It's supposed to be 200 to 190. So something's wrong with it. Maybe I'll just send it back and I'll check it in some water or something. And I may wind up putting a thermostat with a probe in the radiator, because this radiator is not that hot. Well, as you saw, it's like 170 or something. I can't have this thermostat still closed and the radiator fan working. That's the problem I had with the other one. It turned on real low. I think it turned on at like 160. And there's a difference between that side of the manifold and this side of the manifold as far as water temperature goes. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the hottest side over there or what, but I know that there is about 10 degrees difference. So I think the water coming out of the radiator is going in right there. I'm not sure. Anyway, my hose is on. I have no leaks. I didn't run it up to boil over or anything like that. sounds pretty good. I got some missing in it. I don't know if it's this carburetor or still I got a lot of air leaks or something. I'll figure it out. But the motor sounds real good, and kind of ends my water leak saga. The headers are working real good. It was even, you know, you see there, that one over there is running hotter than this one. So I got something messed up. I probably ought to put that PVC valve in the back instead of the front, because that's normally where they go. And I need to check those gaskets on that carburetor. I sprayed it. I didn't see any leaks, but that doesn't mean too much. This stuff here is not really very good at plugging leaks either. I probably ought to run the PVC valve into that. Anyway, that's tuning up the motor. That's down the road a long ways. I just have to wait for my mufflers now, and I ordered some more pipe. I might be able to make those double 90s that I was telling you about to go over the rear end. And that little bracket that I put on there is vibrating pretty good. I need to do something about that. Probably put another bolt in it. Could be just because the motor's missing so bad. Don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out. You know, the fact that it's got one side's running a lot harder than the other, that tells me something's going on with that carburetor. It was supposedly rebuilt, but I'll take it apart and blow it out good, go through it. Anyway, that's tune-up stuff. I'm not too worried about that yet. I'll finish these mufflers up basically, and then I got to get a gas pedal and brake. So I should be able to drive it. Just one major step there, not having any more leaks.